I always thought that I hated learning, but it turns out I didn't hate learning. I hated what I was learning and how I was learning it. The school system is archaic, it's inefficient, and I would love to show you the new way of learning I've called the hyperlearning cycle. It just sounds cool, it's not that crazy. That'll allow you to learn skills, learn whatever you want to do, literally 50 times faster. And I don't say that lightly. I owe literally all my success to obviously God and my faith in Jesus, but to the hyperlearning cycle. Like that's right behind it. So this is my cool little diagram, the hyperlearning cycle. I want to teach you about it today. School is inefficient, bad, because you're forced to learn things you don't want to learn. In fact, if there's anything you actually do want to learn, you've usually been force-fed so much crap you don't want to learn to the fact that you're just bored of learning in general. And that's where I was at. I thought I hated to learn. But then I realized I'd come home, I would play Minecraft, I'd play RuneScape, I'd memorize all of these different formulas to craft things, and I loved learning. I just hated what I was learning in school. And then when I got out of college, my love for learning returned because I thought, you know what? I can learn stuff to make money. In case you're wondering, you can learn how to make money. It's just another skill. In fact, it's a macro skill, which has a lot of micro skills in it. And so if you learn how to pick up these micro skills extremely fast, you'll find that making money, not only is it possible, but it's extremely fun and it benefits society and it's not as hard as you might think. But you got to focus on the skills first, not just the business model or anything else. Focus on learning the right skills. So how do you learn skills? We do that using the hyperlearning cycle. So how I developed this is I read a bunch of books on how to learn. Also, I observed the things in my life that I truly enjoyed learning, that I learned really quickly. I observed how did I learn those that fast? Because I don't know about you, but I used to be a criminal procrastinator and did not take a lot of action. So I would read, if I wanted to solve a problem, I would read like 20 books, not do anything, and then get mad at the world for me not making any progress. It's like learning how to ride a bike by reading a book. It's like, dude, you have to just get on the bike to start with. And so that led me to figuring out the hyperlearning cycle. And I've taught this to literally 200 plus students at this point. It has changed some people's lives forever. And if you take this seriously, I promise it'll change yours, and it's all free. So starting with number one, do. Most people skip this step and it will always shoot you in the foot and you will get crushed by your competition who's not skipping this step. The first step to learning anything is you have to do it. You've got to try to do it. Before you read books, before you watch any videos, just go out and try to do the thing. So in my example, I teach copywriting. I teach persuasion with words in my high ticket program. And so the first thing that my students need to do is to write some copy before they do anything else. And the secret here is you've got to give yourself permission to suck. What happens is you need a foundation to then apply the things you learn on. And if you don't even try, you don't know where your foundation is. You have no starting point. The example I use in my program is it's like Legos. If you're acquiring more knowledge and more tactics and all these books and tricks and all this, you're just bringing more Legos onto the pile. But you're not building anything with those Legos. You're just creating more anxiety and more chaos. If you feel like you can't do anything because you're so anxious because of all the stuff you know, you need to do. Like stop thinking and just go do for a minute. And so the key is when you have little amounts of Legos, go ahead and start building with them. Build with what you have. And so do. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't be good at the thing yet. How do you get good at doing the thing? Well, you do more of the thing. I know it sounds obvious, but dude, we forget this so much, me included. Which is also why I'm making these videos every day. Because I want to get good at speaking and teaching. And so I'm living out this learning cycle right in front of you guys. I am doing before every single day, before I do anything else, I just record a video after I read my Bible, of course. So the first step is do. Take the action, do the thing. The second step is learn. This is the traditional way that we think about learning. So reading books, buying courses, you're having someone else specifically teach you what to do and how to do it. So in this video, you should be learning how to learn. I'm showing you what to do, but you're not doing it. You're just listening to me tell you. That's the second step. And once you have this foundation of doing, learning now becomes useful because now that you've already built a small little structure with your Legos, when you add in more Legos, guess what? It becomes very easy to know where to put them because you've already started something. But if you don't start the project, if you don't go out there and kick the soccer ball, if you don't record the video, if you don't write the piece of copy, if you don't try to start the business, you'll have no foundation to put this other stuff on and you'll stay stuck forever. And this is why the school system has screwed up you guys a lot. Because instead of doing, you just sit there for hours and hours and hours. Leave school system, come to the real world and start doing first. Just try it. You're going to suck. That's okay. Give yourself permission because the only way to get better is by doing it. And I promise you, the first time you do it, if you do it 1,000 times, that 1,001st time, you'll be way better. You'll be way better. So yeah, do, then learn. So as you're learning, you want to take notes. The problem is you can't really take good notes if you've not done because this gives you some foundation, something to like, it gives you some mass for gravity to pull new information towards. And so once you've done, you can take notes from people who are specifically telling you what to do. Third step is study. Now the way I define study is different from learning. Studying is finding people who are not teaching you, but the people who are doing. This is another huge issue with school. You can go to school and someone can teach you something even though they've never actually done it. I asked my accounting professor, I didn't ask him, but someone asked him in college what he did before he became a professor. And he was a student. Bro graduated from accounting and then became a professor of accounting. He'd never done any accounting. How insane is that? He's a college level professor. It just drives me nuts. It's insane. And so that's why I wanted to make a lot of money before I began teaching you guys stuff, at least publicly. And so I did $500K in revenue last year. And now I feel like I have some lessons to show. And I feel like some of this stuff is worth listening to only because I've actually done it. And so make sure you're learning from people who have done what they say. That's another big point. When it comes to studying, these are people who are doing the thing at the best of their ability. These people are usually not teaching because teaching requires a lot of effort, a lot of time. You want to be studying people who are just crushing it. That's like saying, okay, you go to learn from your basketball coach who used to play college basketball, so he knows some stuff. He's definitely a good coach. But then you also want to study LeBron, study Luka, study the people who are best in their field. So my copywriters examples is they learn from me, but I also teach them, hey, go find these people who are making a ton of money with copy and study their copy. Figure out what they're doing. And this is really important because it forces you to make the connection for yourself, which is going to instill a much deeper level of learning for you. If I'm just teaching you stuff that I've found, it's good. You need to take note of it, but it won't be as good as the stuff that you find for yourself by studying reality. And you're going to learn how to ask why, which is the most important thing you would ever ask, right? Asking why. And so if stuff works in the marketplace, ask why. If your stuff didn't work, ask why. People who were crushing the game, ask why. And if you watch old Mr. Beast podcasts or you listen to anything from any insane performer in their arena, they will talk about how they studied the best religiously. They would constantly watch the best creators, the best performers, the best athletes and think, what are they doing? Why are they so good? And so for 2 and 3, you want to combine these nuggets of information together. You want to take notes as you're doing 2 and doing 3 to then use in number 4, iterate. So all number 4 is, it sounds pretty crazy and complicated, but it's very simple. You just take the notes that you used in 2 and 3 and you apply them to number 1. So as you go to do again, you would take those iterations. Let me give you a stupid brain dead example. Let's say I want to learn how to kick a knuckleball in soccer. Well, the first thing I would do is I would go out to the field and I would try to kick knuckleballs. It would probably suck, but it would be a great experience because I have to do it first, just to even know what people are talking about. So I go outside and I kick some knuckleballs. Maybe I record my footage and I go do. Next, I learn. I'll watch YouTube videos, how to kick a knuckleball. I'd watch as many as I can from as many different sources just to get a nice kind of well-rounded idea of what people are teaching, how to kick a knuckleball. And then here's what really sets us apart from other people. I would go watch the best knuckleball kickers in the world. I'm out of touch, but like the David Beckhams, the whoever, I would go watch them kick knuckleballs and slow it down in slow motion and to see what are they doing. Then I would take those notes from that day, add them to a list of things I should do tomorrow, and then go out tomorrow and try to kick a better knuckleball. And so if I'm focused on leaning back more and kicking and keeping my foot at a lower angle, that would be one iteration, and I would go try to do it. And the key here is for frequent cycles and small changes over time. And so just because you watch 15 videos and watch Ronaldo kick insane free kicks doesn't mean you're going to immediately be better the next day and crush it. It takes time. And the key to getting big changes is stacking a lot of small changes. And so break your macro skill down into micro skills. So for instance, when I teach my copywriters how to do a sales page, I don't just teach them the full sales page. It starts with a headline and the pre-headline and the sub-headline. Then it goes into the lead. How do you structure the lead? There's different parts of the lead. Then it goes into the body copy and then the offer, this call to action. Like you break the big skill down into little skills. And you can take this as small as you want until you learn the stuff you need to move up to that next level. So for instance, I'm learning speaking, and there is so much more to speaking than I ever could have imagined. Speaking is a macro skill, but in the micro skill, it talks about my tone, my pauses, breath control, the rhythm. There's so much more. The volume. There's literally so many variables to speaking, and I'm practicing them slowly as I'm doing these videos every single day. And so after a year, after 300 videos, I will have improved a ton at the macro skill, but it was because I was focusing on the micro skills. So hopefully this helps you guys. And a great example that I heard from Andrew Tate, whether you hate him or love him, is a great example. He says, do you want to know why people speak their entire life, yet they still don't know how to speak well? It's because of feedback, iteration. They never iterate. They just keep doing the wrong thing over and over and over again. And so by learning and studying, you find things to iterate. And by doing frequently, using those iterations, you will change your learning trajectory from going like this to going like this, exponential. So anyways, hopefully this helps you guys. If you want to learn more about skills, my entire goal with this channel is to help you make your first $1,000 online. That's why this channel, and that's why I exist right now, to tell you about Jesus and how to make money online. Two favorite things. And so I do that by breaking it into 3 playlists: skills, beliefs, and getting clients. I really think that if you master those 3 areas, making 1K will be very, very easy for you. And I've helped over 100 people do it already, so I know it'll be easy for you if you just lock in. So pick one of those playlists, skills, belief, or getting clients that you need the most, and go ahead and start binging it if you want to learn some stuff and apply this to the learning cycle and go crush it. Anyways, love you guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow.